Hi, I'm Chef Raphael. Welcome to today's video. Today I'm cooking, and today I'm actually have a different set because I'm actually working from home, and I'm going to show you how to make beef kebab. I've served it with some raita, which is the white here, which is made of yogurt and cucumber. Very simple to make but delicious. Goes perfectly well with the meat, which I've flavored with rosemary, ginger, and some onion. So that combination is perfect. On the side, I have some tomato and mango salsa. If you don't like the mango, you can skip the mango altogether. I'll show you how to make that, and I've also served it with some white plain rice. It's really delicious. Watch till the end and you see how simple it is to come up with this whole dish, a whole plate. And let me know in the comment section how yours turns out. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing so that you're actually notified whenever I have a new video out. This channel is all about making you a better home cook or home baker. I have baking videos and cooking videos on this channel, so just scroll on the video list and on my playlist and see all the other videos that I have. Now, today's ingredients, I have a half a kilo of meat, minced meat, beef. You can also use lamb. Lamb I think will actually be very tasty, and to this I'm going to add 1 onion. Now it depends on the size of the onion, can be 2, some ginger, small piece of ginger, salt and pepper, and in this case I'm actually going to use rosemary as the herb the herb that I want to use. Now this is dried rosemary, and what I did for dried rosemary is actually buy my own rosemary when it's fresh and then let it dry. Sometimes I just leave it on top of the microwave or just somewhere that will just literally dry off naturally, and then remove the leaves, and then I have it. I find this one to be more flavorful rather than buying the store-bought dried rosemary. So I'll start with the minced meat. It's really simple, but in terms of flavor, it can depend on what you want. You don't have to use rosemary. You can use coriander or dhania or cilantro. You can use parsley. You want something like herb to add something in terms of color and also for flavor. So for rosemary, in this case, I'm using it for flavor and a little bit of color in terms of green specks of small specks of green. Now, first thing is add salt and pepper. So I love black pepper whenever I'm cooking, so it's something that I usually use. In this case, I want a heavy taste of black pepper, so that should be it. And then I have salt. It's basically sea salt. And or you can use regular salt. What I'm doing, the amount I'm using is dependent on the amount of meat you have. I'll show you when you finally finish mixing how you can tell if the salt and pepper is enough. So we'll go to the onion. Now, what I want with the onion is to chop it into small pieces. You do not want a lot of onion, and I'll also explain why a little bit later. So again, I say not too much onion, because if it's too much, what will happen is that when the small pieces of onion, when you're molding the mincemeat into that shape of a kebab, if you have a lot of onion, it will not hold together. And if you have big pieces of onion, same thing will happen. The reason, you can also use cooked onion. You can cook this onion, but I prefer the raw onion because it has a nice crunch when you're biting into the meat. So that amount should be about enough. Also, the thing when you're making it, it's also about preference. If you do not want a lot of onion, you can use less. I prefer using fresh ginger, especially for this recipe, rather than ginger powder, because this one has more flavor. So I prefer this way rather than using the pounded ginger, because this one, when you bite into it, you have small pieces that you can bite into, and it gives much more flavor. Next, I'm adding rosemary. The fresh one will chop easily. This one, when you're chopping it, when it's dried, you have small pieces flying over the chopping board. So into the mincemeat, I'll add slightly more. You ask yourself is how much flavor of what do you want? Do you want more ginger flavor? Add more ginger. Do you want more garlic flavor or rosemary? Add more of it. So that's it. So you have all the ingredients. All that is left to do is to mix it into one combined mix of meat and herbs and spices. So to mix it, you can use a spatula or a spoon or even your hands. I like first starting it like this, and you combine everything into the meat. After that first stage, what I usually like doing now after this is to use my fingers to mix. And when I'm mixing it, I'm pressing it like that and letting it come off through the fingers. That way what is happening is like you're mashing everything into the meat while mixing. Now if you had big pieces of onion, it will make the meat not come together like that into a ball or whatever shape you make it. So if you have big pieces, they will prevent the meat from coming together. So that's it. The next thing, I'll clear the area so that I have room for molding the meat into the kebab shape. The technique is to grab the meat, let's say a generous amount, and then press it. See, I'm pressing it while I'm rolling it onto my hands. You want it to not have any cracks in between, and then after pressing it, and then form it into a ball. This is while you're gently pressing it so that it sticks together on the inside. And then you can use a chopping board to roll it into the shape of a kebab. So there you have it, and you can see the small specks of green from the rosemary. There is the onion, there's the ginger, there's salt and pepper inside. So this is gonna be delicious. If you're using chopped coriander, you'll actually even see the more green. So I'll roll the rest of the meat. It's a good idea to always, first of all, make a small piece like this, cook it on both sides until it's cooked, and then taste it. And then if the salt and everything is enough, it's balanced, then you can roll the rest of the meat to the desired shape. In this case, we're saying into the kebab shape. So the meat is done. Again, the idea is to try and make them the same length, thickness, the same size. You can go for the bigger one or the smaller one. These are the smaller ones. And also another tip that I can add is whenever you're making this, put a little bit of oil on the palm of your hands, just like that. Rub it, and then when you're doing this, the meat will not stick on the palm. So now let's make the accompaniment for the meat. Have kachumbari. We call it kachumbari here in Kenya. It's also a salsa basically. Tomato, onion, coriander, cilantro. I'll add, now you can leave it like that, but I want to make it a little bit different and add mango. It's mango season right now, so there's plenty of mango. Now the mango is clearly optional. You don't have to have mango. So I'm making them into cubes by cutting it like that. Of course, you can also peel the whole mango and then just cut them into dices. So all the mixture is, all the ingredients are there. What I'm going to add is salt, a little bit of pepper. You can add lemon juice or vinegar. What I have here in the house is vinegar. So I'll add a little bit of oil first. Mango that I have is a little bit tangy. That's why I'm not adding the vinegar first. That should be good. Give it a taste. Great. I actually don't need the vinegar because it would be more acidic, or even lemon juice. That flavor is perfect and it looks really delicious. So the other thing that is going with the meat is Raita. But it's basically natural yogurt or plain yogurt with some with some cucumber and garlic. To this, first I'm going to add salt and pepper. So 1 clove of garlic, a little bit of cucumber, and then I'll add the natural yogurt, enough to balance the other ingredients. That's the garlic. I usually like it with pilau or even a biryani. It's really refreshing and it's perfect with the meal that I'm going to make. So right now we'll start cooking the meat and then we'll bring it all together in a plate and you see how it comes out. Right now the pan is hot, so you need a hot pan. The meat is here. It's nice and it's actually ready. It hasn't broken apart because that's the whole point. It should not break apart or have any cracks. What I want to do is apply a little bit of oil. Now if you're using a grill pan, when you apply oil on the grill pan, the oil will go into the grooves. So I'm applying a small amount of oil on top. So the part that has oil, just let it face down. And you want to hear a sizzle. So the whole point when you're grilling is start off with one side and let it continue cooking round and round. Again, I'm a little bit of oil on top. Because the pan is hot, I already have grill marks. So I'm turning the pieces. You first want all the sides to be browned. So I'm cooking this on medium-high heat. You have to be careful with the heat. If it's too hot, it will cook on the outside and probably burn before it's cooked on the inside. So it's also getting that balance of enough heat to cook outside while not, to cook on the inside while not overcooking on the outside. So this should take about 4 or 5 minutes because of the thickness of the pieces. So the meat now is ready. It actually took about the same time. I said 5 minutes to cook. How you know it's ready is that you first of all, the whole point is to keep turning it so that no one spot gets to overcook. So keep turning it on the pan. Check on the fire. If the fire is too much, just reduce it. And then how you know it's cooked is you can actually take one piece and then make a small cut and then check on the inside. So if the inside is pink, then it's not fully cooked. It also depends on how well you want it. If you don't want it well done, like this piece, I can still see some red liquid coming out. So that means it's a little bit on the medium to well done. So I don't want it to be fully dry. That is well done. So I'll actually remove it right now. What happens even as you turn off the heat, you let it rest. What will also happen is that it will keep cooking on the inside even while it's still, even when you've turned off the heat. So right now I'll start plating and I'll show you how to plate it up. This looks like big pieces, but let's put 3 just for the sake of plating. And then we have our salsa, put it on one side. Remember, this is also the vegetable for the meal. Sauce, the yogurt, the raita. So one way you can do it is place it in between the pieces of meat. Now there's so many different ways of making a kebab, but I just wanted to show you my version of it. Today I've served it with some mango salsa, some white rice and a raita. It's really delicious and I hope you'll try yours. Let me know in the comment section how yours turns out when you make yours. And my mouth is watering right now. Let me dig in and then I'll leave you go and try yours whenever you can. If you have the mincemeat right now, go give it a try. And until next time, I'm signing out. I'm Chef Raphael. Goodbye.